the benefits, or what I believe are the benefits of polygyny. So we're just going to get right into this and go on right down our list. Number one, for me, is going to be self-sufficiency. Okay, it's, not relying, on the government, as much, and hopefully not at all, and just being self-sufficient, right? Being able to have less outside interference within your household. Having more people within your household means that you have more outlets to resources, right? Babysitters, keeping the house clean, things of that nature. And we're talking about, not having to rely, on the government as much, you know what I'm saying? Which we see, you see how many people, were actually relying on the government. And then once, that aid or assistance was removed, how hard it was for people, not having that in-home support system, what I'm saying? That self-sustainability that made it to where you had many different incomes, you feel me, coming in under one roof, which were all going towards one cause. You see what I'm saying? So if times like that come, then they're self-sufficient enough to be able to maintain through those type of crises. So another thing is having less outside interference. And this is not another number. This is talking about self-sufficiency. And, so it's having less outside interference. When you have more people within your household, that means you have more, access to people who can take care of things like childcare, okay, education, chores around the house, bills. All these things now become a lighter load on everybody involved, more importantly the women, right, which then frees up space, for them to then, take on new hobbies, or, pursue those careers or those passions that you may have, right? It makes these things a lighter load, which I think society purposely puts, these pressures on people, right? So you become this robot that has to depend on the government for survival, basically. Number two is larger families, period.com. Larger families, okay? And families with a more systematic household, okay? We don't have to go through the countless number of, especially, black families, who come up with no fathers in the household, or the mother's there, but she's barely ever there because has to bust her ass, you know what I'm saying, to be able to provide for her 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 and 6 kids. You see what I'm saying? So, a major benefit is having larger families and a larger support system within that family. So let's go into more things about, the benefits of just having a larger family, which, some people that have been fortunate enough to have larger families know about these things. I've been able to witness it, you know what I'm saying? And now that time has grown, I've been seeing the significance of a family growing and having a larger family. But, like you hear me keep saying, it's the support system, is having more foot soldiers, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? It's more people who understand, the legacy of your family, the, whatever's being taught within your family. You know what I'm saying? It may be that everybody's, mathematicians, or scientists or whatever the case may be. When you multiply that and multiply the education, and multiply your community, then all it does is, make it better for everyone that comes after you. You know what I mean? And that's what I believe. And it's important to have large families, right? Think about, how empowered it makes you feel, when you were able to go to school or be anywhere, and be able to say, hey, that's my cousin, that's my brother, that's my sister, it's my other brother, that's my other cousin. You know what I'm saying? It gives you a sense of power. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, naturally, if you have an abundance of that, it can only, intensify, that feel of power and that feel of being proud, you know what I'm saying, that you have an abundance of family, and it's a lot different, than having just friends, you know what I'm saying, which could feel like family. But when you have people that all are, driving for one cause, You know what I'm saying? Which is something that they know is greater than them and outlives them, you know, for centuries and decades. You know what I mean? When you're creating dynasty and legacy, then that's something that's very important, having large family, right? Because then you can expand that family. You know, you could be in different cities, different states, different countries, you know, and that shit continues. You feel me? So there's many benefits from having a large family. Now we're gonna go to number 4, you know, but it's the community living. You know, it's the you know, nobody really having no sick days off. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, the person next to you being able to take up the slack if maybe you had a bad day or you're not feeling good. You know what I'm saying? If I'm here with one person and this person don't feel good, I have to take care of this person, then that means now our day is minimized on what we can accomplish. You feel me? And I see how people can take it as, oh man, that's mean and that's selfish, but it's not. It's you know, being systematically responsible for each day. You feel me? Because time is something that we understand that we cannot get back. So we have to be responsible for the time that we spend. And I believe that polygyny assists in that, making sure that you have time, you feel me, to get the things that need to be done to build your legacy, to build your dynasty, to build your business. You feel me? For starters. You feel what I'm saying? To, you know, build that real estate. You see what I'm saying? That's all within community. And the stronger your community, you know, the stronger you are at accomplishing those said things. You feel me? So community is very, very, very important to me. You know, and I think that it's a extra benefit, you know, from being polygamous. You know what I mean? Because it excels at a, you know, or I could say it moves at an accelerated pace. You feel what I'm saying? Just having that community and having those people that all have one task and one vision at hand. You feel me? My number 5 benefit of polygyny would be women learning to work together. You know, I grew up, you know, mainly with women, you know what I mean? And I was able to see how they were when they were separated, and I've seen what happened when they came together. And I've seen the power, you know, that had in it. You know, when like-minded women come together on a single goal, and when that goal is to, you know, create or hold a family legacy, that shit is powerful, man. You know, especially when the women, you know, come together to do that, you know, and then grow to be the elder women, you know, who come together to do that. You know what I'm saying? And again, it's 10 times more important when everybody involved is growing towards one future. You feel me? One main goal. You feel me? And that's the biggest thing that separates, for me, monogamy, you know, and the communities that come up around that, and then polygyny and the polygamous community. I think that they flourish a lot more because of these different concepts. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, again, you know, women learning to work together, understanding that they're the, you know, the biggest motivational force, the most powerful, to me, the most powerful influence on the planet when they come together. You see what I'm saying? To voice an opinion, to make change, to educate. You know, they right at the front line, you know, of education and everything, because that's the first thing that we see. Those are the women are who we are with majority of the time when we're young, when we're little babies coming out. You know what I'm saying? They're showing us our first words. You know what I'm saying? They're feeding us. You know what I'm saying? Singing songs to us. You know, as a lot of us know, a lot of those songs were educational as well. You know what I mean? So I think it's very important for women to understand that their, you know, their power and their position, you know, when it comes to polygyny. Polygyny is not just about the man having a bunch of women. It's not about that. You know, it's more so about the women coming together to create the community, and a man being strong enough, you know, a strong enough leader. You see what I'm saying? And leader to be able to, you know, uphold that and withstand that. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy, you know what I'm saying, dealing with, you know, a bunch of different personalities. That's not something that's easy. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, that's the part of the foundation But in order for that shit to flourish and to be anything, it takes the women, you know what I'm saying, to come together, you know, and not be selfish. Being selfish, man, is a cancer, you know, and I think that that's something that the monogamous society has taught people to be more selfish, more about I and what I need, you know, versus what we need as a whole, you know. And I think that that's a disease that you know was majorly influenced by music, you know, and what we listening to. You see what I'm saying? TV shows and all that, you know what I'm saying? And how it drove a separation of not only the men and the women, but the women against the women. You see what I'm saying? Like first it was a thing like the Willie Lynch letter say, man, you know, separate, you know what I'm saying, the alpha from the house, you know what I'm saying, where the whole family can see. You know, I guess the next phase after that was drawing separation between the women. You see what I'm saying? Where they didn't even have the power to bring it back together no more. So, you know, I think that's a place that we are where things are getting out of hand and overboard with this whole independence thing, you know, and women thinking that they don't need men, and you know what I'm saying? And it's turned into a whole big ass shit show, like straight up. You know what I mean? So I think that when you are doing things for something bigger than yourself, to create legacy, to create a dynasty, you know what I'm saying? When you know that the person to the left of you and to the right of you and behind you got your back on something that comes from deep from within, your heart and your soul, you know what I'm saying? Then you live life a lot differently, you know, and you're not more so concerned about these materialistic things, right? Because you know that everything you do is for something bigger. You see what I'm saying? You helping your sister next to you is, you know, bigger than you going to just go get a bag tonight not knowing what the fuck you're going to do with it tomorrow. You feel what I'm saying? It's a bigger purpose. And even you going to get that bag, you coming back and putting it into this community where, you know, it's part of children, you know, part of a legacy and dynasty. I feel, you know, it's a lot more satisfying. You dig what I'm saying? So, you know, again, number 5, you know, women learning to work together in unison, I think is very important. Now, the last thing, number 6, I believe we're on number 6, right? Yeah, number 6 is not necessarily a benefit. I would say it's a warning, and it's you know, something I need to get out there, is that polygyny is not for everybody. I don't do these videos, you know, trying to convince everybody that you should be doing polygyny, you know, or you should practice polygyny, or you should start trying to practice polygyny. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, you know, I say the things that I say for those who may be sleeping, you know, need to wake up to the fact that this is possible. You know, that this is something that can be used to reverse some of the effects that has been put on the black community, you know, to keep us out of wealth. You know what I'm saying? And there is many different other solutions and ways to come about it. But for me and how I came up in life and the lessons that I learned and, you know, me educating myself, it brought me to this understanding that this is a way that, you know, I can influence our community to fight back against the lack of wealth, education, you know what I'm saying? And just everything, the long laundry list of things that I feel that polygyny directly battles against when you look at the system that we are stuck under, you know, which most of us in our culture don't come from. You see what I'm saying? The system that we are stuck under right now, and the way that they govern, the way that relationships are looked at, and all that, you know what I mean? But, you know, again, it's not for everybody, you know what I mean? And definitely not for all men. You know, some men don't know how to deal with one woman, you know what I'm saying? Or one set of emotions, let alone 2, 3, or 4, you know what I mean? So, you know, it's definitely not for everyone. You got to be, you know, a leader, you know, I feel you got to be somewhat of a trendsetter. You know, when I say leader, you have to be able to lead not only a community, but, you know, a business, you know, and be able to employ people and put food in people's mouths and feel good about that. You see what I'm saying? And I think that that's a important part, you know, along with wanting to actually procreate. I think that's the word, right? Procreate, you know, or, you know, have many or have abundance, you know, of children, You know what I'm saying? A big community. You have to have really want to build a dynasty, right, and a legacy for your family. So I think that those things are important. And if you come at it, the wrong way, I think it could be poisonous too. So I don't want people to watch these videos or watch anybody's videos for that matter and think that polygyny is something that should be another fad or something that people should just practice just because. I think you have to have the right intentions, and I definitely think that it has to be about community. You dig what I'm saying? And building legacy or your dynasty, like period.com. If you're doing it just to have a bunch of females surrounded by you, I'll be able to say you fuck a bunch of bitches, that shit is bootsy, that shit is weak. You know what I'm saying? And you're a Cancer, that shit is poisonous to what I believe this shit really stands for.